Good evening, everybody. Welcome to an update from Bracket Update. Today, we're taking a look at our final NHL Team Draft Challenge standings. The playoffs have just started. A couple of games have been played, but we figured we'd give you guys a quick rundown as to where everybody is right now. Some awards are kind of finalized. We all know Connor McDavid is running away with the most points. That happened. So we'll just run through like we have done the past couple of times through everybody's teams that they chose, figure out who made the playoffs, who did not, and what the matchups are. And then we'll probably see you again in like 3 weeks or so for a final update after the Stanley Cup.
Oh, more than that.
Okay, more than that. Maybe a month, 5 weeks, who knows.
Yeah.
As usual, Mr. Andy Mysek, the man with the best name in the whole wide world, came up with this super awesome PowerPoint to help us determine.
Super awesome.
Yeah, it's super awesome to the people who don't know much about hockey, like Bill and I. Really helps.
I think it's great.
As we speak, I'm watching the playoffs. Carolina just scored. In case you didn't see me react in some way.
Great job. It's one of my boys.
Oh, Carolina's going to stomp Nashville.
I don't think so.
Well, we'll get to that as we go through.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, Andy Mysek is here. I'm handy dandy Andy Jerrick, and of course Bill Johnson, the generable Bill Johnson, of course, rounding out the threesome today.
Yes, this is the best threesome I've ever been a part of.
Same. I'm proud of that fact.
Yeah.
You must not have had some good threesomes then.
No.
We all love each other in this threesome. All right, Andy, why don't you get started with your PowerPoint? Who is going to be first? Is it me still?
That's always you. I got rid of, though, the most disappointing and the player stuff because we don't need that because now we're in the playoffs.
Sure.
You can see all of your team's final records. So kind of surprising. The Flyers sucked. Barely over 500.
That was very disappointing. Just a general disappointment.
Yeah, but here's your playoff teams. So you'll be rooting for Tampa, who's up 2-0 to Florida. St. Louis, who's down 1-0. Winnipeg starts today, and Nashville is down 1-0 and losing game 2 right now, 1-0.
Ooh.
Okay.
So we'll go to Tony's teams. He's got a juggernaut here in Vegas.
Fucking Pittsburgh, man. God.
And Pittsburgh, yeah, they took the 1 seed in the East, which is shocking to say the least.
Shoot.
But he doesn't have much to work with in terms of playoffs. He's got 3 teams.
But they could all do really well.
So where they're at now is Vegas is tied 1-1 with the Wild. Oh, no, Vegas is the 2 seed. I'm sorry. Colorado came in and won their last 3 to take that from them. Boston is tied 1-1 and losing to Washington right now 2-1.
As they should be.
Yeah, fuck Boston. And Pittsburgh is tied 1-1 with the Islanders. There's my teams. You could see the only thing I would say is shocking with my teams is that the Panthers are as good as they are.
Real quick.
Yes.
I like the colors of your teams, like all the logo, very visually pleasing.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I like a lot of hockey
that's
logos.
That's why you made these picks.
Yeah. Actually, so one thing you guys probably noticed, but I did not notice until probably 5 years ago is, did you know this is a bear for the Wild? The stream is the mouth, the moon is the ear. Star is the eye.
Are you joking?
I never knew that.
Did you think it was anything or just a bunch
I just thought it was a wilderness thing. I didn't even think anything of a bear.
It's like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like immediately I'm like, that's a bear.
Probably more than 5 years ago. I was in high school, maybe a little after high school, but still team existed for 10 years before that.
I'm not one to judge. The like mail trucks, the logo.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was an eagle for a long time. So
well, there you go. See, we all learned something.
Yeah. I thought you were it's a bear.
It's a bear, and they're in the playoffs. Let's see. Avalanche are up 1-0. Montreal starts tomorrow against Toronto. They're not going to last long. Islanders are tied 1-1 with Pittsburgh. Wild are tied 1-1 with Vegas. Panthers are down 0-2 to Tampa.
Okay.
Tampa's good. And then there's Bills teams. Bills got a lot of good teams. So only 4 in the playoffs, but all 4 of those are very likely to move on. So Toronto starts tomorrow. Edmonton starts tonight. Carolina is up 1-0 and winning 1-0 in the game they're in. And Washington is tied 1-1, but winning 2-1 in the game that's going on now.
I need Washington to avenge the Rangers because Bruins, immediately one in the last episode when I said the Bruins will not make the playoffs, they won like 8 games in a row. So I was like, well, fuck.
Rangers got very close. They might have had a better shot if their best player wasn't in a fraud case in Russia and had to go fly back to save his family.
Wasn't like someone like also injured by Washington?
Yeah, oh god, yeah, that was what they were already mathematically eliminated, but Washington have Tom Wilson who just ran train on their best players.
Yeah, I was upset at the time, but since the Rangers are out, I'm okay with what he did. I need Washington to get into that.
And then the teams that didn't make it in. LA had a shot for a little bit. They held a playoff spot for maybe a week. These two, look at this record. That's not good. 17-30-9. Yikes. And there's the playoff teams, the teams we didn't pick. All right. So here's a reminder how we decided to score things. I thought about changing it without telling people because the things we gave 2 points with trophies, I'm shocked we didn't give the Richard for most goals 2 points or most points. God, I can't remember the name. What hockey fan am I? But that isn't 2 points. But anyway, making the playoffs, every team that makes the playoffs get 1 point. Winning the division gets you an additional point, and winning the President's Trophy gets you 2 points. Winning in round 1 gets you a point. Winning in rounds 2 and 3 gets you 2 points. Stanley Cup gets you 3. Then we have the awards. We have 5 we picked out that get you 2 points. None of those were picked out yet. All other awards get you 1. Then we did the penalty minutes thing, which I figured out as well. So team with the most penalty minutes, player with the most penalty minutes, each get you a point. All right. So President's Trophy winners, the Avalanche won their last 3 games to take that. So
who came in second?
Carolina might have, or Vegas. I think it was Carolina though. So Bill, you missed out on 2 points.
It's okay.
Division winners, Carolina in the West. So I got a point. Pittsburgh in the North. Pittsburgh was the East.
Almost got 3 points if the Capitals beat the Penguins, right?
Yeah, it was close. So actually Pittsburgh should be in the East.
Yeah.
Toronto should be in the North. Toronto won the North and Carolina won the Central. So no points for Jerrick on division winners.
Oh, wow.
That's all right. You get some points elsewhere. As we've mentioned, Bill, you kind of run away with best players in the league. So individual awards we have here. So Connor McDavid had the most points in the league. I wrote down Connor McDavid had 105 points in 56 games. So he's wild. Second closest was his teammate, Leon Draisaitl, with 84. The closest non-Oiler had 69 points.
But that's also a victory. It's just getting 69 points.
Yes, I agree. So, in other words, Connor McDavid is insane. He scored 100 points, and I think it was 53 games, which is
He's pretty good.
Fastest a player has done it since Mario Lemieux, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So that's something. Also, Bill, you won the Richard. Austin Matthews somehow put up 41 goals in like 53 games or something.
I like how you said I won the Richard.
You won the Richard. It was you.
Yeah, I feel like I won it. I feel just as excited as he did.
I'm sure. If only you were making the $11.5 million he was per year. And then the Jennings trophy for the goalie tandem, or usually single goalie, but goalie tandem that had the lowest goals against or highest save percentage, I forgot which it was Vegas. Fleury and Leonard were insane. So Tony gets a point there. Go Tony. Penalty minutes. Somehow Tampa Bay had the most penalty minutes out of any team in the league. Which shocks me.
It's nice to get on the board.
Well, they are a lightning bolt. They should shock you.
Damn it. And then player is the guy who basically ran train all over the Rangers, which we talked about earlier.
Oh,
Tom Wilson.
my boy got me a point. I'm definitely pro this Tom guy. He did nothing wrong.
I could show you the picture of him literally grabbing a guy by the hair and throwing him face first into the ice.
It's hockey. It's hockey. It's a rough sport.
I love it. So yeah,
I'm gonna write him a letter thanking him.
I mean, the like fucking 20 penalty minutes he got on that one play probably helped a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bill.
He listens to this podcast for sure.
Yeah, he knew that you had him, and he's like, "This is for my boy Bill."
I like him.
Not a lot of people like him right now.
He plays real hockey. Also,
fun fact: he scored the first goal of the playoffs.
Yeah, because he's the best. What if he wins the is there a final MVP? Does hockey have that?
So there is an award for most valuable player in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's gonna be him. Well, probably not.
Probably not, but you never know. So here's where the standings are now. So Jerrick, you got Tampa Bay, St. Louis, Winnipeg, and Nashville in the playoffs with most penalty minutes by a team. So you got 5. Bill, you have Toronto in the playoffs and the division winners. You have Edmonton in the playoffs. You have Carolina in the playoffs and the division winners. Washington in the playoffs. And then you have McDavid, Matthews, and Wilson all getting you extra points as well. So you have 9.
All according to plan.
Sure. So my big point producer was Colorado. They made the playoffs, won the division, and were the President's Trophy winners. And then I have Montreal, Islanders, Minnesota, and Florida in the playoffs. So I have 8 points. And then we got Crybaby Tony. He's got Vegas in the playoffs, Boston in the playoffs, division winner Pittsburgh in the playoffs, and then Fleury Leonard with the Jennings for 5.
And that's the reason he's not here. It's because he's losing in this game. He was like, I'm so mad.
Exactly. It isn't because of work.
Upset.
That's a lie. It's because he's losing.
Yes, exactly.
And then the playoffs. And then the playoffs, which we already kind of went off. I already mentioned who's winning which series, but this is what it looks like, the playoff picture. So, Bill, you have a lot here. Toronto and Edmonton could easily win their matchups, and then you would definitely have somebody at least in the conference final.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So,
and then Carolina's just gonna keep going, I hope.
And it's not looking good for my Panthers here. Toronto or Tampa up 1-0 or 2-0. So yikes! I'm looking over here more so in the East to save me. So yeah.
So they're not reseeding them the next round or anything, right?
Nope.
Great.
It's just gonna go down how you see it here.
Cool.
I like how varied this is.
It
Like
is.
facing their own team in the first round, We're all fighting each other at some point. It worked out pretty.
Yeah.
I thought for sure Bill was going to be facing himself with all of his Canadian picks, but here we are. Got away from it.
Yep. I didn't even think about that. I was like, that's a good. Yeah, I didn't consider that, so that was pretty lucky.
Hey, whatever works, right? That's all I have for the PowerPoint.
Great.
Any questions about hockey? Any awards you wonder who's the front runner for? Do you guys know
Coach
the
of the year, I guess? Who's
Coach
going to win
of the-
Coach of the Year?
Coach of the year. I mean, it's hard not to say Quinville's got a good shot. Florida's coach, ex-Blackhawk coach.
Pittsburgh coach. Since they
you're right. God, I can't think of his name. But he's got a good shot because no one had Pittsburgh being the number 1 seed.
What about Carolina?
No, they were expected to be good.
Oh,
They were
great.
expected to be. I mean, it's possible, but a lot of times the coach of the year is like the big
Someone
shock.
that exceeds expectations.
Yeah, like Florida, people thought could squeak in as the 4th seed, and they outperformed Tampa. So that's going to help Quinville. Obviously, Pittsburgh being as high as they are. Those are usually the guys who either win it or the best team in the league the entire season. So,
Sure.
any other awards?
I don't know.
I didn't have anything, but I did notice yesterday when Washington and Boston were playing that overtime game, or was it Monday?
Boy,
No,
that
a
was
list
game
of-
1. Yeah.
There was a list of every person on the team who had scored a game-winning goal, like in the overtime in the playoffs, and of course, fucking Tom Wilson was on there with 1 previous overtime game winner. The guy, he just shows up when it matters.
Tom Wilson, man. I mean, look, I'm not a huge fan of the guy. He's a guy who walks the line, but like definitely crosses that line more often than he should. He still puts up like 50-something points a season, despite being suspended for at least 7 games a season.
That's good goonage.
That's high quality goonage, indeed. The only other award I think is pretty cut and dry is I think Connor McDavid wins the Hart, and probably the Ted Lindsay, and I think Kirill Kaprizov wins Rookie of the Year at the Calder.
What team is he on?
Minnesota. So I'm gonna get. I think that's only 1 point, but I'm gonna get that 1 point. But Bill, you're gonna get 4 points for the Lindsay and the fucking Hart. So way to pick up Connor McDavid.
Yeah, I've always heard he's a good guy. He's a good player.
I'm wearing his jersey. Mostly not to root for you, but I want Edmonton to beat Winnipeg, and they play tonight. So
Come on, man.
I hope. Yeah,
I'm an Edmonton.
I agree. I thank you for rooting for me.
It's for you, Bill. I love you.
Yeah. Let's take that, Jerrick.
I love Jerrick though too. I have a Patrick Laine jersey in there, but he ain't on Winnipeg anymore.
Darn.
So sorry.
It's okay. I'll try and earn your love next time we do the NHL fantasy draft.
To be fair, Tampa Bay is my second favorite team, and I have a handful of Tampa jerseys that I do wear. So
there you go. Take that, Tony. Take that.
Yeah,
I mean, no, that's
Tony's
me.
the least loved.
That's me. That's Florida. Yeah, I don't like any of Tony's teams except he had the Hawks, so I guess he has my favorite team.
I mean, yeah, you gotta give him that.
Yeah. Anything else?
Good work. It's a great looking PowerPoint.
Yes, all these basic fonts. Just
If there was an award for PowerPoint, you'd probably win that award.
no. But thank you.
I would vote for you. You definitely.
Yeah, I'd vote.
And thank you so much
you,
for
Kyle.
doing this every month. It
Yeah, no problem.
takes some
Well,
of
don't
your
worry. We'll be doing basketball, and I will sit there like I know nothing because I don't.
Yeah, but I didn't make a PowerPoint.
Yeah, but we're just picking the teams, so
Yeah, that'll be easier.
yeah. I used a Word document for that last time.
It's okay.
Awesome. I think then we're good to close this.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So right there, everyone can see our playoff bracket. We all had, at least 3 teams, as many as 5 teams making the playoffs. It was pretty even. Although I think this is sort of turning into a 2-horse race between Andy and Bill.
Oh, this is a 1-horse race.
Well,
I think your teams could do better in the playoffs and you get more points. So
yeah, but you have Connor McDavid.
I'm not going to
who's
count my teams yet.
He's going to sweep the awards.
Very well might. But Andy, I still think you've got an outside chance, and I've got a loser's chance, and Tony's got no chance.
I like that. I like those odds.
Well, to be fair, Tony might win the Vezina with Marc-Andre Fleury.
That's true. But he still wouldn't have enough to get up to like 9 points, which Bill has already, and Andy, you've got 8.
Yeah. And there's still a chance like Varlamov could win the Vezina, which would give me 2.
Sure. Well, we will have to see and wait for that stuff to pan out, as this will be our last update before the end of the season. But we'll probably get back at you guys in 5-6 weeks or so with a final update and some final standings, and then later a trophy reveal. I'm sure someone will buy someone else a little dorky ass trophy.
I haven't even placed the order for your 2 I owe you already, so
All right. There's always the rest of the year. All right, so for Andy Mysak, guy with the best name in the whole wide world, and the General Bill Johnson, I am Handy Dandy Andy Jerrick. We will see you next month on Bracket Up.